Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much that you are all taking the time to listen to our presentation today. My name is Raymond. I am from Mobile XL. We are based in the south of the Netherlands, and we are already many years a partner of Zoho. And today I will do this presentation together with one of my customers, and that's Olaf.
Yes, I'm Olaf. I'm from Alphatron Marine. I'm application engineer specifically for Zoho. For you guys that were not here yesterday. And yeah, glad to be here with Raymond.
Yeah, I made a small agenda for today, which we will discuss this coming afternoon with you. We will do first a short introduction for the people that don't know Alpha Marine yet. We will talk about the strategic decisions in implementing software solutions within your organization. After that, we will explain, and mainly Olaf will do that, how we do a global rollout of mainly Zoho Desk within the Alpha Marine organization worldwide. And we will talk about some other projects that we did with Zoho in the past years. And we will share some goals for the future that we have together of making Alpha Marine even more flexible as they are already today. Yeah? So Olaf, maybe you can first tell something more about Alphatron Marine, because not everyone, I think, have seen you on stage yesterday already.
Oh, indeed.
So maybe a short recap of that.
Yeah, of course. Alphatron Marine GRC, we are a global company. GRC is a radio and navigation company or a distributor and manufacturer for maritime vessels. And Alphatron Marine is a bridge integrator that is multi-branded. And also we do sale of spare parts, we do maintenance and service contracts, class survey, and we have our own repair center. So that's in short what GRC Alphatron Marine is doing.
Okay, good. I remember 2 years ago we were also here, Olaf, together.
Yeah.
Because we actually at that moment just started implementing a relatively small Zoho Desk environment for your team in the Rotterdam harbor.
Yes.
And I asked you to come over here with some colleagues to look what Zoho had to offer for your organization. And after that, a couple of weeks after that meeting, we sat together with the management. And actually, I got the message like Alphatron Marine, we made a strategic decision. And maybe you can talk something about that?
Yeah, we have a global company, and that means we have a lot of offices, and we wanted to reduce the island culture because everybody was doing the same thing in Microsoft Navision. Everybody was working in Microsoft Navision, but we were not working with our Outlook system together. It's all Outlook for Singapore, Outlook for Rotterdam, and nobody knows for everybody what was doing. So we wanted the system that was globally, and everybody could see what everybody was doing. So we did we invited a couple of systems or system integrators. We said, okay, what do you have to offer? Raymond came to us and said, okay, we can help you with it, but we can not only implement Zoho, but also maybe something of a shell across it. So, yeah, and that's why we choose Zoho. But also we chose Zoho because, as I said yesterday also, for you that were not here, Zoho has a very good package. If you have another integrator that says, okay, do you want to have an extra feature, or do you want to have an extra AI or something, you have to pay for it. Zoho has a package, a real good package, and we chose Enterprise, and everything is in it. We don't have to ask for other features and then have to pay for it. Everything is included. So that was a very strong point for us.
And that's the use also of Zoholics that we have these 2 days. A special word-to-use reader. Next year again, because you see it adds value. We're talking here with a customer. We have the opportunity to show them everything, and then you get this kind of decisions for your organization. So very important. Okay, global rollout. As I said, we started with Rotterdam. I looked it back in my CRM system, by the way. 22 users. And we are 2 years later, and we are here. 8 departments, 10 locations. I think it even will become 12 or something. We are now on 170 agents. And last week I checked it out, and then we processed in Desk, or you processed in Desk, more or less 85,000 tickets.
Yes.
And maybe you can explain something about the use of Zoho Desk globally, and what the advantage is for Alphatron Marine to do it with Zoho Desk.
Of course, yes. When we started using Zoho Desk, indeed, we had only Rotterdam, but not only Rotterdam, because we have what we call the ARA region, that is Antwerp, Rotterdam, Amsterdam. And there are indeed 22 agents, but it was working very well, so we said, okay, now we're also going to do another big office of us, and that was Singapore. Singapore went over, and that went also well, so we didn't stop there. I just implemented Madrid. We are going to implement the USA in October. We're going to do France in November, and every time it's getting easier to work together. For instance, we can now have a agent in Singapore and say, okay, we have a problem in Rotterdam because somebody is sick, or we have somebody went to another company, and we can say to somebody in Singapore, okay, can you help us? Or somebody in Italy, because we also have a global service coordinator in Italy, and we can say, well, can you help us out? Here's the department you need to help out, I'll give you access to it, and they can just pick it up and start it right away without any problem, because everybody works the same way in Zoho. So that's one thing that's really, really helpful for us, but it's also helpful for the customer, because the customer has a vessel that goes to Singapore, and a couple of weeks later or a month later, it will come to Rotterdam. And normally it was like, okay, we have to send an email to Rotterdam because we want to help the customer over there. The email get lost, or somebody doesn't pay attention. Right now, we can say, we have a lot of departments, and if something happens to the vessel, or we cannot finish the service, we can just transfer the ticket to Rotterdam, because we know the vessel goes to Rotterdam, and then we can handle the ticket in Rotterdam without the customer feeling left out, or the customer doesn't have to ask us, because we already know. And that's a real strength of Zoho, because everybody works in the same system, and everybody knows how the system works. It's not like the one works in front, or one in Outlook, or another system, and we don't know how to transfer tickets. Everybody knows how to do it. Everybody's trained by me, and everybody knows how it works. So that's really, really strong point of Zoho.
And what you see when you implement a new solution within your organization, you have to deal with users. And normally users are very friendly people, but sometimes they also a little bit stubborn, and they are stuck in a solution that they are used to use in the past. And that's a little bit an internal joke, to snooze or not to snooze.
Yes.
It's an example of a functionality that was present in a previous solution and was not available in Zoho Desk initially. And there you see, you have to take care and listen to your users, understand your users, but even when you give them a solution that is so much bigger, they always will find something that was in that previous solution, and you don't find in your new solution how good that solution also is. But even in that, Olaf found a solution to create that was satisfying also those users, the flexibility that Zoho has to also create a kind of a snooze function.
Yes, of course.
Inside Zoho Desk.
Yes, as you said, Raymond, it's you can have a real good system, but the users are users, and if they have one small function that helped them in the past, they want it back. And it can be the greatest system of all, and that's the great thing of Zoho, because you can also think outside the box and give them that function in another way. So that was what we did, yes.
Yeah, another thing that helps us a lot at this moment are the custom modules in Zoho Desk. I'm not sure if everyone knows about them already, because it's relatively new, but you have now also the possibility to create custom modules inside Zoho Desk. We have now about 10 additional modules created next to the standard modules that you have in Zoho Desk already available. Just a warning, if you create one, make it right in one time, because you cannot delete them anymore if you do it wrong. So that's a tip for everyone inside the room. Another part I think it's important for Alphatron Marine is SLA management. Maybe you can explain something, Olaf, about that, what you do with SLAs for your customers.
Yes, of course. We have a contract department, and of course in every contract there could be a clause that says you have to you have to answer the ticket, or you have to answer the email of the customer within 24 hours, or you have to have a resolution in a day or two. And the contract management module helps us with making contracts, setting criteria, resolution time in hours. As I said, maybe you have a customer you have to. For instance, we have a customer that's a hospital, because we also do portaphones or walkie-talkies, and they have a clause that says within 24 hours we have to solve it, because of course a hospital is a high-risk customer. So that's something we can use, and of course contract end date, and of course a support plan. So yes, that's something we wanted, and that's something Mobile Excel could realize for us.
The work orders, we are extending at this moment Zoho Desk to the engineers outside. This is something that we created as an integration towards Microsoft Dynamics NAV, because that's the other application that Alphatron Marine is using also globally. One of the custom modules we created is to take the work orders from Microsoft Dynamics into Zoho Desk, so that we can push the work orders into the mobile app, which we will show you a little bit later. This is actually I can say, summarization of the whole project that we're working on with each other. It's called the Digital Service Report, where we basically integrate Zoho Desk, Zoho CRM, Zoho Workdrive, and Microsoft Dynamics with, on the left side, the users inside the organization, and on the right side for you, the people outside of the organization. That can be clients, that can be third parties, and also the engineers from Alphatron Marine who have to do the work on the vessels in the various harbors worldwide. So that's a short summarization of what we are trying to achieve, sharing data from the Zoho applications towards the outside world, and create a communication possibility back into the organization. And we do that with this stack of solutions at this moment. Dynamics, which integrates into Zoho Desk. So we're pulling a lot of data from Microsoft Dynamics towards Zoho Desk. We created the client portal and a mobile app on top of Zoho Desk to give people access to the data in Zoho Desk. Next to that, we also integrated Zoho Desk with Purple Track to manage compliances about the ships.
Yes.
Maybe you can explain a little bit why compliance is very important for Alphatron Marine.
Yes, of course, no problem. The Purple Track, we of course have a lot of trouble in the world right now with blacklist and countries where vessels cannot come, or can come, but we cannot service the vessels. So we must look up the vessel in this case Purple Track to see if the compliance is met. If a vessel, for instance, went to a country that's on the blacklist, we cannot service it. Normally, it would take us about 5 to 10 minutes to search everything on the website of Purple Track. We have to fill in a lot of stuff, and then we get a compliance status back with a report. We ask Mobile Excel, okay, can you make that easier for us? Because it costs us a lot of time, because as you see, 85,000 tickets, for every ticket have to search on Purple Track, we will have a problem, or we will have a lot of time lost. So what we did, we asked Mobile Excel, can you help us? And they made an integration that if we put in the IMO number, that's a serial number of the vessel, there will be a query to the Purple Track website or the Purple Track API, and it will come back within 2 minutes, sometimes even normally faster, but within 2 minutes, it will come back with a compliance, and also with a report that's in Workdrive, so we can see in Desk itself we can see if it's critical, if it gets a warning, or it's okay. And if it's critical or warning, we can figure out from the report what the problem was, and we can ask the customer to clarify, or just don't help the customer. It's not nice, but it's a world where we have to do it. And of course, Mobile Excel helps us. It takes less time.
So we have, as I said, we integrate with Navision, Microsoft Dynamics Navision, you have to say officially. And we take data from vessels, about jobs, work orders, from Navision into Zoho Desk in those custom modules. Now this is a screenshot about Navision. One of the, let's say, complaints also from the organization is my Navision is slow, my Navision is not handy. Zoho Desk is not slow, Zoho Desk is very handy. So by making that integration, we give value to the users that are working with Zoho. What we are now doing is creating a mobile app for the engineers outside, where we give them their job information, so that they know where to go, when to be there, what to do, what their job is, and also give them the possibility to report information back, and have also a sign-off by the captain or the person responsible on the ship. It's not always the captain, but we use that always as an example. And send that data back into Zoho Desk and back into Navision, so that we also can process that data, because at some point that client needs to be invoiced, and preferably as fast as possible. Yes. Yeah. So that's actually what we're doing for the mobile app. We also did an AI pilot already a while ago to auto-answer questions from customers. So we were analyzing emails, and based on the content that we got in from those emails, we were able to fill in topics within Zoho Desk. And when we were missing information, we could automatically ask questions back by email to those customers, saying, for example, as Ola said, provide me your IMO number, because that's basically the critical number in this process. When the customer then filled in the IMO number, we were able to track data, find information, and automatically reply with a correct answer to that customer. Yeah, so we did that based on cloud AI and ChatGPT. So that has been a pilot, and that's also something for the future that we want to incorporate really into the process. This was a technical review that we did and succeeded in, so that even by email, which content is very variable, of course, when you get it in. Most customers says, help, it doesn't work, help me. Who are you, what do you want? We were able that way to generate automatic requests and make sure that we get all the data needed in. And that structure looked a little bit like this. On the left side, the request from the customer, Zoho Desk automatic communicating back, asking questions to fulfill data, and we attracting data from the various systems, being Zoho, being Dynamics, being another database where data was incorporated, and using that data and answering the questions from the customers. And hopefully with the new features that Zoho is going to offer based on AI, we will make even this process more easier, because this has been done before. Really external AI solutions were incorporated. Zoho Expense. There's a little bit of project that's outside of your scope, Olaf.
It is, but because we have so much success with Zoho, I recommended, of course, Mobile Excel when our finance company came to us for, okay, you're using Zoho, is it okay? Well, I said, give it a try, because we are very happy with it, so yeah.
So what we did there, we basically are replacing a paper process. The engineers have to have the tickets from their travels, airplanes, hotels, meals that they are able to spend. There is a certain regulation on the expense policies within the Alphatron Marine organization. So we created that process together with the help of Zoho, because Zoho did some changes, especially for Alphatron Marine in Zoho Expense, to make it work. And we integrated Zoho Expense also with Navision, because that data after the approval process in Zoho Expense needs to be feed back into Navision, because people need to be paid sometimes on the salary, sometimes separately. So we're pushing all the data from the expenses back into Dynamics right away from Zoho Expense, but the users are able to use the app from Zoho Expense very flexible. Now this is a little bit the process. I don't want to go too deep into it, but just to show you, it is not a straight line process. So Zoho Expense is also very powerful if you have many users that need to put in tickets for, as I said, hotels, restaurants, travel costs, etc. Then absolutely Zoho Expense is very well able to use that in that case. Now some screenshots here. I think, looking at the time, I will just click on to that. Future steps, because we started 2 years ago, but we're not ready yet.
Nope.
You can say something about what you're doing with CRM, projects, etc.
Yes, of course. We have a lot of sales teams within our company, of course, as you can imagine. But even within Rotterdam, we have sales departments for our bigger ships, but also for retrofits and also for refits. The refits and retrofits are a little bit special because it's also a little bit service. So they came to us, okay, we need help because we want to have a way to help our customers better, or to understand our customers better. And of course, Zoho CRM is absolutely great for that, because they have projects, they use projects, they use Desk, and with CRM, the sales team has also access to Desk and to projects within their CRM system. So they can see what's happening, they can see how the project is going. When they go to the customer, they can look at it, say, okay, I have 4 projects, I have 2 tickets open, let's see what happens first before you go to the customer. So you can say to the customer, oh, I see you have a problem. Maybe we can do something about it. So that's Zoho CRM for sales, and maybe we can even make it expand within our own sales team, but let's first do our first team. Well, Zoho Workdrive, we are already using it, of course, for Purple Track, but there are a lot of other things as our service reports. We're also using Workdrive for that. So Workdrive is also integral with everything we are doing. So projects we started using because our yacht team, we also do mega yachts. They wanted to have something. The service manager came to me and said, okay, I want to have a project, let's use Excel. And I said, no, we're not using Excel, because Excel is a wonderful program, but it's not okay for projects. I said, let's try Zoho Projects. Now, why do we use Zoho Project for the yachting team? Because it's there are a couple of departments working together within a yacht. You have the sales team that is selling the solution. You have the new build team that's building the whole thing. We have warranty. That's of course important if something goes wrong. And of course, after the warranty period, we also have sales of our service department, our service team, that also need to know what happened in the past to help the customer better. So that's also a very important thing. Integration with third parties, and that's also something we are using with our mobile app. We want our third parties that are working for us also to fill in the app, because we want their data digitally. And why do we want the data digitally? Because we want to use AI to use that data for all different kind of things. We want to summarize everything. We want to have things we can use with AI, like, for instance, indeed Singapore did something, and the vessel comes to Rotterdam, you get a pop-up saying something needs to happen or something happened. We want to assist the service coordinator with everything they need to make the customer happy, because that's, of course, the goal, to make the customer happy. And after that, we also want our planning system, because we're using a third-party planning system right now, but we want that planning system also to be in Zoho. So we asked Mobile Excel, think about a way that you can have one app, not only for the service report or for the work order, but also for the planning, and maybe even for hours, that they can request hours off, or maybe can put in different hours. But also maybe other things like expense. Maybe we can integrate expense in that app so that the engineer can do everything with one app. And we don't have to have 6, 7 apps, or they have to go to the laptop for this, or they have to go to the tablet for that, but they can do it everything on everything. So that's our main goal, is to help the customer better, to make it easier for the service coordinator, and to help the service engineer to do what they do best, hands-on tools, and without too much administration.
Now let's agree that we do that presentation on Zoholics 2026, Olaf, together. Yeah, if you look at to the one customer service portal that we are creating together with Alphatron, it's indeed to provide information from multiple Zoho applications. As you all know, Zoho has for every application its own portal, CRM, Desk, Books, Workdrive, but it's all a single login, and it's just sharing data. It's not really communicating. We created one portal over all Zoho apps with roles and rights so that you can give users, third parties, or for larger organizations where people don't have, where users, not everyone has access to Zoho, we can give access to the data through the customer service portal. So that's very important. Next to that, we also include external applications, because from a commercial perspective, we of course say Zoho can do everything, and we all agree to that. Zoho can do everything, but we always have an history. And if I now tell to Alphatron Marine, replace Microsoft Dynamics NAV, yeah, you understand that won't happen at this moment. So we need also to incorporate data from those external systems into the customer portal so that we can provide that data to other parties. Yeah? And also communicate to each other. It's not only like, here you got your data, but it's also communicating. If you see an invoice, you maybe have a request about the invoice you receive from Alphatron Marine. Yeah, from the customer portal, the customer will be able to ask a question about that invoice, or to give input about an order, or the engineer sign up his hours for the system inside the organization. Yeah? So there is one customer place where all data is available based on roles and rights, completely based on a catalyst. So it runs on Zoho, because when we talk about portal and data, then it's of course always the first question, but what about security? And that's a very important question. Now, we all know Zoho has privacy and security very high on the priority list, and maybe might say even on the highest part of the priority list. Therefore, we built this portal on Catalyst, so it runs into the Zoho data centers. So GDPR is arranged by Zoho because it runs on Zoho. Yeah? So that's, I think, an important point to name. Now, what you then see is that we have one user interface with Zoho Project data, with Zoho Desk data. You will see, give an example, Books, Exact, Dynamics, depending on what you are using. Workdrive data, CRM data for quotes, orders, and usage arranged by Zoho Directory. Sales IQ can be included so that you also can chat with the customer, but that's pretty standard functionality if we talk about that. But we can show you your own dashboard per user. So it's not that everyone has the same roles and rights, but it depends really on the classifications that you give to those users from Zoho. So when you get a new contact for your portal, you can initiate that contact with an invitation, give them a role or right, and when that person accepts the invitation, it will get access to the data for his company or for his clients, if you're talking about a third party, within the customer portal. So we try to integrate as many applications as possible. We're also thinking now about Recruit, for example, because there is also a need from some customers in our organization to use that. Of course, we also incorporate a survey and forms and that sort of applications. It's relatively simple to do that, But yeah, the main application, of course, CRM, Desk, Workdrive, and your finance environment. That's basically what we offer with this one customer portal. Maybe a short recap what we showed you before we go to the questions, Olaf. I think I can say that Zoho Desk is very well suitable for large and complex organizations. I think you agree with that.
Yes, it is. As I said, from 22 to 160 plus users right now, I can say that everything went smooth. And also, it's pretty self-explanatory how you should implement it. Of course, with help of your partner, it can even go better. But yes, it's suitable for complex, large, because we're doing it and it works. So yeah.
Also, integration with Zoho Desk is doable, especially with complex systems as a Microsoft Dynamics. It's not easy, I will tell you that. But I think the challenge was more on the Dynamics side than on the Zoho Desk side, to be honest.
Absolutely.
We had some delays. But at a certain moment, people found out that on the surface of Dynamics, a checkbox was not filled in. But yeah, that's, I think, and the complex of the API of Dynamics. But yeah, Zoho Desk is very well capable of also integrating with other systems.
Yes,
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, with the new features that we heard the last days about AI, it will only be more easier, I think, to incorporate AI within Zoho Desk. But yeah, we proved already also without that we can incorporate AI within the Zoho Desk environment to communicate and automate processes with your customers and make sure that you save time and on sharing information. Yeah, what you see, of course, here today, we focus often on CRM and on Desk, Workdrive. But yeah, also I think it would be interesting for you to look at maybe the smaller apps of Zoho that you don't hear about every day. And I think Zoho Expense is one of them. To be honest, we also have not used it much in the past. But yeah, I must say mainly because the question of offshore marine, we start digging into it. And it's actually a pretty smooth application. So maybe not something you think about right away, but yeah. Look into it when you're using Zoho, especially when you have Zoho One, because then you have it already. Yeah, I think it's interesting to take a look at that. Yeah, the portal. Yeah, that's something that we have been working on together, also with Alftron over the past years. We believe that it will help many organizations with a large customer base, with a lot of interaction, communication with your customers. One portal over all your Zoho apps. We think we made something unique. It's up to you to judge if we did. But yeah, the feedback that we get until now is very positive. Yeah, when we talk about AI, one last thing maybe that I want to give away, it's a business strategy, it's not a technology. What we hear a lot from customers, and that's why I wanted to emphasize that, a lot of people say, yeah, well, our IT team can do that. And we have ChatGPT, and we have this, and we have that, and we make something technically work. But AI is not a technical solution. It's a business strategy. So think what you want to achieve with AI. Think what you want to solve, think what you want to do better, and then incorporate it in your organization. And after that, start thinking about technology. And not the other way around, please. So that was the end of our presentation.
Yes.
Are there questions? If you are too shy to ask questions, you can scan the QR code and you can just send the questions to me, we will answer. But please, are there any questions?
Were we that clear?
We did a good job, Olaf.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Or they are share.
Question. From the technical side, do you actually make API calls every time someone tries to load something within your portal? Or do you have one big database which has everything from projects, desk, CRM, etc.?
It depends on the process. The processes that don't have too much data, we pull the new data up. And if it's really, let's say, data that is not often requested but needs to be there, we create it in a database.
All right.
So it
Thank you.
depends on the process, yeah. If the data change a lot or not.
Thank you.
Saskia,
other
I saw your
questions?
finger.
Well, I cannot.
So you use Zoho Desk for tickets.
Yes.
What kind of tickets are they?
Well, when the customer, we have one, we have of course a legacy email address for the customers to send it. They use it all the time, and the maritime is very conservative. So if they have one email address, they will send a request to that email address. So what we did is we said, okay, in the Azure backend, we forward that ticket to the Zoho Desk email, and it becomes a ticket automatically. Every email that comes in becomes a ticket, and our service coordinators are looking at, okay, is this a ticket we have to do something with? Is this a ticket that's spam maybe? Or maybe a ticket with a request we cannot do, and we'll send it to the next department. But every email that comes in through that email address or to the email address we use, because it could be 10, 20, 30 email addresses, doesn't matter because you can forward them all. That becomes a ticket and we handle it. And we have a philosophy at Ultramarine. If a customer sends a ticket to a wrong email address, we're not going to tell the customer that they are doing it wrong, because our job is to help the customer. So we will handle it internally. If the customer sends an email, sends a WhatsApp or whatever, we will handle it and we'll make sure that it comes to the right team. So the customer doesn't have to worry about that. So that's what we mean by ticket. Ticket is an email that comes in through a customer. Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you for asking, Saskia. Any other questions? No? Okay, then I thank you very much for your attention. I wish you a wonderful afternoon with the other presentations still coming. And I hope to see you next year again at Zoho 2026.
Thank you very much.